We're going to do a live blitz. I'm going to play a 5-5 game. It's 5 minutes with an increment of 5 seconds. So I'm playing around, I guess you could call it B class, but I don't really know if 1600 or 1650 on chess.com is really actually a B class in like USCF. So I played a French, and it looks like he gambited this pawn. Usually they play c3 if they're going to play an advanced French. But I'm going to see if I can just hang on to this pawn. So I'm just a pawn up out of the opening right now. Poison pawn. It's funny. Okay, a3, I don't really see the purpose of this move. Maybe he doesn't want me to play my knight here to attack his bishop. So I'm fine with this. I think I'm just going to develop my knight, maybe bring my knight to g6 and hit this pawn. Yeah, I'm definitely going to come here now, hit his bishop and this pawn. And now that his bishop is over here, maybe I can bring my queen to like b6 is an idea, because this b2 square is weak now. But I'd also like to develop my bishop and get castled. I have a feeling he might play for a b4 advance here if I do something like, if I did something like queen b6. So I'm wondering if I should just develop my bishop and just see what he does here. Yeah, I thought so. Okay, so he's just going to castle. That's fine. Now I've got two attackers on this pawn and he has two defenders. So maybe if I play queen c7, although he'll probably just play rook e1. Maybe I just develop my bishop. Maybe a5 is also a move. Stop any kind of b4s. My opponent's got about a minute more time than I do. So what do I play here? I think I'm just going to develop and castle. I don't really see any reason to play anything but solid here. So just a solid move, and he's just developing, and I'm just going to go ahead and castle and get safe, and then I'll make a plan. Maybe now I don't really want to go for f6 because then he can take and it opens up his rook, but it also opens up my rook. I'd really like to get this light squared bishop out somehow. So maybe I can go like knight a5 to c4 and then bring my light squared bishop out. I kind of like that plan. I'm going to play rook c8 first, get my rook on an open file. And now he's going after this extra pawn that I have. And is there a good way for me to hold on to it? I guess I'll just play queen b6. I think that holds on to the pawn, because now I have a second defender on it. He's playing really fast. Still above 5 minutes. We started with a 5-minute time control, so he's playing very quickly. He's from Venezuela. It's cool. He's rated almost 200 points lower than me. And he's striking out with h4, threatening to kick my knight, and my knight doesn't really have a whole lot of good squares to go. It can only go back to h8, so that's not great. Let's think here. What am I gonna play? h5, knight h8. Something better I can do? Okay, I'm going to play this and go for hitting his knight. If he pushes, I'll have to go back to h8. I wonder if I'm misplaying this. Seems like he's playing pretty well. Okay, so I'm going to have to go back here. It's not the best square for my knight, that's for sure. I'm going to have to solve some problems here. My pieces are really cramped in this situation. Probably not the best game I've ever played. But this is Blitz. Okay, so he's defending his b pawn. I'm going to kick his knight anyway, because now I don't have to worry about the defense of this pawn as much. And I'm going to go with that plan that I was doing, my knight a5, and now I can bring my light squared bishop out. Okay, so he strikes with b4. I could en passant, but he could take back with his... Actually, no, he couldn't take back with the rook, because then I'll play knight takes. If I play there, it's going to isolate two of his pawns. If I take. And he'll have to... Well, he could play knight takes. And then I don't like that file being open for my rook. Or for his rook. So I'm just going to play my knight here. And if he captures, I can just take back and take back. We'll see what he does. He shouldn't trade twice, because then I'll just be up. But if he does take my knight, then I'll be up. Well, I won't be up, but my pawns will be undoubled. So that'll be nice. And then I've got a lot of space here in his territory on his third rank. See how he's going to handle this situation. My opponent taking more time to think than he has been. Potentially, I might need to watch out for like some bishop takes h7s. But my dark squared bishop is covering g5, where the knight usually comes into check, and the queen can't even come to h5 because there's a pawn there at the moment. So that's good. I don't hate my position. I would really like to bring my light squared bishop to like b5 so it's not stuck behind my pawns. And then somehow fix this problem with this knight in the corner. How did I ever get that knight there? That was I'm going back here. Looking over my moves, I probably... somewhere, I don't know. It's really unusual that they just throw the h-pawn down the board when there isn't a rook. Okay, so he played queen c8. Now my rook is opposite his queen, so there's potential for some tactics. I guess he played that to defend his a-pawn, which I wasn't particularly even going after. But what can I do now? Now I guess I can play my bishop like I wanted to. Is there anything wrong with that? His pieces are all kind of stuck behind his pawns. So I'm just going to go ahead and play my bishop b5. I got to watch my time a little bit. I'm almost at the 2-minute mark. I am playing with the increment, so that does help. But you see, like, this knight has no real good squares. You know, it can't go here, can't go to b3 because one of my pawns is covering. It can't go to e4 because my pawn's covering. It could go back to potentially f1, but then where is it going? h2 to g4? It could. That would take a little bit. But other than that, I don't see. Okay, so he's starting to trade now. So do I take with the bishop or the pawn? If I take with the pawn, he can come into e4 with his knight. But my pawns will be undoubled, and I could potentially push, bring my rook over. Ooh, that does look really good, having those pawns controlling all these squares if I take with the pawn. I think I'm going to do that. And yeah, he did come in with the knight there. So, but this bishop, my dark square bishop, is going to do a good job of controlling the squares that his knight can go to. And I think I'm just going to bring my rook behind my other pawn and start pushing these pawns and opening these files for these rooks, especially because his queen is opposite this rook. I've got a minute 36. He's just got under 3 minutes. I still have this knight, this horrible knight on h8. Got to figure out a way to get that out. Maybe g6 somehow, or like f6 or f5. And he can take en passant. I don't really want to open up this rook by pushing my f-pawn, and he can take with his e-pawn and open his rook. It seems like I'm just giving him moves in space, you know? So, but man, I really misplayed this knight. Okay, so he's played c3. I can play d3 and get a protected pass pawn. That's really nice. That's tempting. Or I could take, but why? He'll just take back with his knight. I think I'm just going to go for this and now just try to trade everything off and go for an endgame where I'm clearly better since I've got a protected pass pawn. If all the pieces were off the board, I win this game. So maybe now I bring my light squared bishop to c6. I can't right away because then I'll take the rook's defense away from this pawn and he's hitting it with his knight. What to do? I really would like to push my b pawn up to b5 and connect this pawn chain, make it look all nice and pretty. But you know what? I need to get this knight out somehow. Very badly, I need to get this knight out. Not going for it. Probably rightly so. I'm running out of time. I need to do something ahead. Need to make some quick moves, quick decisions here. Okay, I'm playing this. I'm trying to get my b pawn going, so I'm going to move this light squared bishop, push my b pawn to protect that pawn, and then somehow get my light squared bishop out of this mess. I only have 28 seconds with the 5-second increment, so if I play fast enough, time won't be a problem, but I do have the potential to blunder. Okay, so now I got to be really careful here. His queen is eyeing my f pawn. I'm gonna do this like I was talking about. Okay, gotta play quick. Oh no, this is not looking good. Take it. This queen's gonna come in. Oh, this is not good. This is not good at all. He's gonna have that knight. Oh, what was I doing with that knight? Probably queen back here. Check me again. Yeah, go ahead. Check me all you want, buddy. Is that checkmate? Oh no. Oh no. What happened? What happened to this game? What went wrong? I was up this pawn in the opening. He just gave it to me. Maybe knight g6 is not so good. No, I feel like it should be. Like this was all fine, right? Castling. Bring my rook over. Yeah. This h4 move. You know, maybe I should have moved my rook over. Yeah, that was probably a better decision, was to play like rook f to d8 and then my knight can come to f8 instead of to h8 where it's just terrible. Trying to run an analysis on it. Yeah, liked me out of the opening. Oh well, you win some, you lose some, right? And then here I got careless and I got into time trouble and yeah, I just need to play king e8, not whatever I played in the game, because he mated me just right there. Okay, so there's a loss. It happens. Good job, Poison Prawn. Took some of my rating points. And thanks a lot for watching. We'll catch you next time.